Several weeks ago, we had quite a big leak underneath the kitchen floor. We got the plumbers in and we contacted the water company, and eventually it got fixed. What came out of it though is the fact that the water meter in the road wasn't recording our usage properly, and then the water company told us that our bills were going to increase significantly. Now I only get billed once every 6 months, so I didn't want to wait 6 months to find out how much it was going to cost me. So I built a spreadsheet and used the tariff information from my last bill to work out what my estimate would be of how much we're going to use month on month. I'm using LibreOffice, so I'll click here, Open Document, Spreadsheet. If you're using Excel, then you'll click here. To call it Water Meter Usage and Cost Calculator. So we'll calculate month on month. We'll start with add the months in there, and then what we can do is we select those three, and you see the little handle appear here. Click and drag that. Then the spreadsheet will automatically populate with the remaining months. Let's tidy that up, centralize it, or just give it an underline. And what we'll do, we'll call this, we merge and center these cells, which is this one here, and call this 2026. So we know that's a group. We'll shade it, give it a light grey shading, and let's put a border around it all. And then what we can do here is we can put water meter reading, and then there's a daily standing charge. We'll look the costs up in a minute off our latest bill, and then there's water usage. Actually, let's put this one down here. Make this a little bit wider so the text fits in. So I have my meter readings. Looking at the reading was 61. When you read the meter, ignore everything after the decimal point on your meter. So we're interested in this. It's 3061. Go back here. Let me just add in 00061. What we can do is we can, if we format this, we can tell the spreadsheet to add the leading zeros. So here it says leading zeros. Let's put 3. Actually, we need 5. This is how many character positions. So if we put 5 there, puts in the 3 zeros. Look at the beginning. Okay, that. Okay, that. And then we can just copy that across to all of these cells. We paste special, just the formatting. Go. So now if we put in the reading that we've just taken, which is today's reading is 00075. So we put 75 here, it automatically puts in the leading zeros. Look, let's just center all of this, make it look a bit neater. And then we can put a calculator here, so it's this value minus this value, simple sum. We can just copy that across. So you need to look at your most recent water bill, look at what the daily standing charge is, and then we can add that in here. And same with what the usage cost is per meter cubed of water. And there'll also be a sewerage cost per meters cubed. So let's lift the costs and rates off of this bill. So water charges and sewerage charges here, look. So this is what we're interested in. It's standing charge is £29 per year, and volume charge is 309 pence per unit. So let's put the standing charge in first. I should have said monthly standing charge there. Let's put monthly standing charge. Whoa, what's happened here? Something strange going on with my graphics card here. So it's £29 per year, so just divide that by 12. It's £2.41 per month. Let's just copy that across every cell. At some point in the year, that'll probably change. Put that in pounds. Usage cost per meters cubed. Let's go back to our bill. So here's the cost per meters cubed. It's 309.02 pence, equal £3.09.02 pence. Again, let's copy that across. Also put that in pounds. Obviously put it in your currency. And then sewerage cost, let's see where we are. Down the bottom here, so standing charge, £68 per year. Let's change that to supply. Standing charge, what do we say, 68 £68 per year. That's 68 divided by 12 then per month. Let's copy that across. Put it in our currency. And we'll just centralize that, make it look nice and tidy. So let's change this to supply cost per meters cubed. and then put here sewerage cost per meters cubed, £2.79.81. £2.79.81. Okay, let's put that in our currency, centralize it, and there you can see here they give you a discount of 5%. They assume that water is not returned to sewer. So let's add that in as a 5% discount. Let's put it as a minus of this times 0.05, which is 5%. Copy that one across. Convert it into our currency. Stick it in the center. Because we put it as a minus, it shows up as red. That's a discount per meter cube. Let's just make that a little bit bigger. To tidy this up, let's make this right justified so it all lines up nicely at the end, at the edge. Let's make this a bit smaller. Zoom out a little bit and then you can see the whole spreadsheet. That's it. Okay, so it looks like we've got all the information we need. Let's close that. Let's put in here, so total cost. What we can do, let's use this column A. We can say, right, this is A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Let's right justify that. So put in these references so we can identify each row when we work out our calculations. So the first calculation we want is what's our supply cost, which is usage. So 14, which is B, multiplied by D. And then you want to add our supply standing charge, which is row C. So let's put that calculation in here. So we want B times D, which is this one here. Sorry, and that's not, we don't need, not doing December. Let's just blank that out, and then we know we're not using that. Let's add a column in here just to make this a little bit easier to read. And we'll just make it very small. There we go. And it just separates that out. Look. So we want B, which is this one, times D, that one, plus C, this one. So let's do our B times D first, which is that one, times that one. And then we want to add C, which is this one. Let's centralize that. And then copy that across to all of the other columns for the year. So supply cost is B, D, and C. So we've got the supply standing charge and the supply cost per meter. We need to do the similar thing now for sewerage. So again, it's B times F plus our standing charge, which is E. So again, let's blank that out because we're not using that one. Picking up B, multiply that by F, and then we're adding E. And let's copy that across for the full year. Now we need to add in our discount, which is our water usage again, which is B multiplied by G. Let's blank that out, we're not using that one. Equals B times G multiplied by discount. Let's centralize that and then copy it across. So we've got our supply cost, we've got our sewerage cost, and we've added in the sewerage discount. Just jump quickly back to our bill just to double check that we've considered everything we need to. Daily charge, or so annual charge for water. Volume charge is per meters cubed, we've got that. A sewerage charge is the annual charge. The volume charge per meters cubed, and then we've got a 5% discount on the usage. We've got all that. That's fine. Close that, go back to our spreadsheet. So all we need to do now is just add that up. We just do a sum. Again, we're not using this column, so let's put that in like that. So we just add this to this to this. Centralize that, copy that, paste. There we go. At the moment, this is showing some spurious values. What we could do is put in a temporary value here, so make it the same as the previous month, and then it just stops the numbers getting a bit silly down the bottom. Obviously, we've just got to the end of January. It's the 31st of January today. I've taken a reading, so my current estimate is it's £88.56 per month. What we could do is put an estimate here for the whole year, which is just that month multiplied by 12. It's just some to justify that. The reason I'm doing this, we had a problem with our water meter recently. It took a while to fix the problem, but the outcome from that was that the water meter wasn't actually working properly, so we were being underbilled for our water usage. What I've done between December last year and January this year is just kept a record of the two readings since December till end of December till the end of January, and then that's allowed me to calculate what it's actually cost us for January, and this is what I'm going to estimate is for the year, and then I can use this value. There's 5 adults in the home. I can put in here cost per adult is that divided by 5. £212 per year. Monthly cost per adult is that divided by 5 as well. £17.71. Copy these across for the whole year. Obviously you can put whatever rows you want here. I was just showing you how to create the spreadsheet from scratch, really, using just some simple formula. Adding these references here helps when you start trying to work out the calculations. So like I've done here, I've just written in the text, this supply cost is row B times row D. So when I put the formula in, it's this row times this row. If you want to, you can tidy this up. You can do things like make these blank lines a little bit narrower just to tidy it up a bit. To select multiple rows that aren't adjacent, you hold the control button down. We can do the same up here as well, just to tidy this up. Hold down the control key and then you can select individual rows like this. Let's make them a bit smaller. There we go. Let's put a border around this so we know that this is the result we're looking for. Let's make it green. That's the key value that I'm interested in. It's £88 per month. And then this is what, £17.71 cost per adult. Don't forget to save it. Oh, looks like we've got a glitch here. What's going on? Let's copy that one across. Okay, that's fixed. Don't forget to save it. Let's just blank these out as well, because we know these aren't relevant. If you want to carry this on for future years, you can just copy all of these columns, and then paste them as new columns here. All you've got to remember to do is make sure that this value here is properly referencing these. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to add a comment down below, please do. Check the link down below and you can download the spreadsheet. All that's left for me to say now is thank you for watching. Take care, have fun, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.